Avon was restless. He no more wanted to interfere in the affairs of Saurian Major than shake hands with the devil. But Blake, the charismatic zealot, was determined, as were his equally zealous followers. Then, after consulting Zen, Avon discovered something that might deter the unexceptional company amongst which he had found himself. "What's the problem?" Blake asked. "According to Zen, we are approaching the orbit of Saurian Major. That's a problem? There are 2 heavy warships between Liberator and the planet. They carry fast starfighters as well as massive artillery. The guns are trained on us." Avon smiled. "We can outgun them or outrun them." "That may be so, and it might be interesting to find out. But the warships have dragon markings. You've chosen to fight the Federation. Do you fancy your chances taking on the Empire of Cathay as well?" Blake frowned. "What are they doing here?" "They're keeping an eye on things down below. My guess is that the insurrection, civil war if you like, is reaching its conclusion. When it's all over, the Chinese will pick up the pieces, and they won't want to share them with you." "The pieces won't be worth much." "No, but it means the Empire will occupy previously Federation territory. It would be like taking the Federation apart brick by brick. Saurian Major is one of those bricks." "That's a slow process. It could take centuries." "The Chinese are very patient," Avon said. "But of course, you are not." Blake smiled grimly. "We'll force our way through unless you have a better idea." "I have a better idea." "Share it with me." "Communicate with the Chinese. Ask if they will accept an envoy and try to reach a mutually acceptable conclusion." "That's not bad. I could go over and talk to them." "Do you speak the language?" "No, but I don't doubt someone on the warships will speak ours. To expect that would be impolite." "Well, I don't know anybody who speaks Chinese." "You know me." Blake raised an eyebrow. Avon, who'd been lounging on a couch on the flight deck, got to his feet. "I studied for some years in South China, where Cantonese is spoken. There is not a Chinese language per se. There is Mandarin, there is Cantonese, and there are others. I learned Cantonese." "What a happy coincidence." "The dragon markings on the warships are designed to indicate which part of the Empire they represent. They are from South China." "Well, that's another happy coincidence. I suppose this means you're volunteering to be my envoy." "I'm prepared to go across, if invited." "Why do I have a funny feeling you might not come back?" "That's a risk you'll have to take." Avon smiled again. Blake turned to the computer. "Zen, attempt to set up communication with the Chinese warships. Avon will do all the talking." The computer seemed to grumble, but flashing lights and alien clicking sounds suggested that the instruction was being obeyed. "I'll get Jenna to set up the teleport if, as you say, you are invited to go across." "I wouldn't do that if I were you." "Why wouldn't you?" "Do you really want anyone to know that we have a teleportation facility? It's an ace you might care to keep up your sleeve. Also, it would be an insult. If an invitation is extended, the Chinese will send a drone pod to collect me. That would be their preference. There are certain rituals, a politeness to be observed in Chinese society." "There's a lot more to you than meets the eye, Avon," Blake said thoughtfully. The Zen computer interrupted. "Information, communication channels are open," it said in its hollow metallic tones. There followed a rapid speech in Cantonese. Avon responded equally rapidly. He asked a question and received an answer. Communication closed down. "Well?" Blake asked. "The pod's on its way." Avon took off his gun belt, extracted a knife from the inside of a boot, and placed them on a console. It would be impolite to pay a friendly visit whilst armed. "They might kill you. Had you thought of that?" Blake said, with a hint of concern in his voice. "No, they won't. That, too, would be impolite."